jobs coming. Watch what's happening. The companies are coming in by the tens. You got to see what's happening. They all want to come back to Michigan and build cars again. You know why? Because of our tax and tariff policy.
Brian Pannebacker spoke at that rally. He started Auto Workers for Trump. Joins me live once again here on the Hill. Brian, you're getting some prime time, some primetime placements there. You spoke in the Rose Garden. You spoke on the 100 Days. It was just you and the president, just you two. Thanks for being with us once again tonight here on the Hill.
Thanks for having me on, Blake.
Of course. So if you look at the first trade war that I covered, and I'm sure you remember, it was the farmers who got the bailout from the president, right? $29 billion as China started to ramp things up. And this go around, it's been the auto industry, not a bailout, but the president has given them some relief. Why do you feel comfortable, Brian, with one industry, the one that you used to work in, getting some help, while others don't get that same kind of help?
Well, what he's doing is, it's very, Trump is not, he's not doing something that's easy. It's very complex. It's a very complex issue, and he has a very sophisticated team of advisors that are helping him with this. They actually came to him. I spoke to him on Tuesday here in Macomb County on his 100th day in office, and we did speak about this backstage when he got there. And he explained to me briefly what he was doing and why he had to do it and why it made sense.
What did he tell you?
What happens? Well, what happens is some of these auto parts, this is how convoluted and screwed up the auto industry has become since NAFTA was passed. There are some auto parts that'll cross the border 7 times. That's insanity.
They go all over the place from one country to the next, to this one, to that one.
A lot of it is back and forth from the Detroit, Michigan area into Ontario, Windsor, Ontario area. Back and forth, because Chrysler has plants on both sides, so does Ford, and it's just really insanity. So what Trump is doing, he's not excluding Canada, who are our friends and allies, but we can't exclude them from this policy change because he wants all of the part production for the assembly plants back here to the Detroit area into Michigan.
What's your argument? What's your argument, Brian? Yeah, no, I hear you. What's your argument to folks who might now go to get, they need a tune-up, whatever, a new part, and then bang, get hit with the bill, and wait a minute, it didn't used to be that much?
Real simple, real simple. Be patient, have faith, and trust Trump. Listen, where were all the media concern and all the, everybody's running around with their hair on fire? Where were they for the last 30 or 40 years when we watched plant after plant after plant shut down and they moved our jobs to Mexico? Ever since NAFTA got signed into law in 1994, we've been losing jobs. Not 100 here, 100 there. Thousands, tens of thousands of jobs. An auto plant can employ 7,000 to 8,000 people if they're running 3 shifts. Nobody seemed too concerned when they were moving them down to Mexico. Now all of a sudden, because we have a 90-day period where they need to rearrange their supply chain, everybody's acting like the world is going to end.
I think
everybody needs to take a deep breath and relax.
I think the state of Michigan, where you are, was 900,000 manufacturing jobs at the start of the century, now down at about 600,000. You're in Michigan. Your governor is Gretchen Whitmer. You're a supporter of Donald Trump. She's the Democratic governor. And there was this scene, Brian, let me leave you with this real quick. There was this scene where she gave Donald Trump a hug.
Jeez.
What do you make of the governor doing that?
She has to, well, listen, I'll give her a little bit of credit for kind of reaching across the aisle. Donald Trump is the guy. She was going to him asking for help. He gave it to her. So let's give him the credit, not the governor. You
don't give her a little bit? You don't give her a little bit, Brian?
I said let's give her a little bit of credit for reaching across the aisle, but the majority of the credit goes to Donald Trump. She tried to get Joe Biden to help her out with bringing these new planes into Selfridge Air National Guard Base. He didn't do it. So she got help from a Republican. So Donald Trump is the guy who deserves the credit for this, not Gretchen Whitmer.
Brian Pannebacker with us tonight from the state of Michigan. Thank you, sir. I'm sure we'll talk to you again. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Blake.
You got.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.